Shut the up. I don't give a dude. Look at this. Look at this. He's fighting a professional boxer. Marvis Frazier fought Jake Paul. Jake Paul's dead. He's dead. He's not going to make it.
So Joe Rogan humiliated Jake Paul after Jake had pulled the plug on his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson. Yep, you heard that right. The highly anticipated clash of the eras is once again going up in smoke thanks to Jake. And of course, Jake being Jake, he's still out here walking around like he's the king of the world, acting like canceling fights at his convenience is no big deal. Seriously, the guy pulls out of the biggest of his career like it. No, Joe doesn't mess around when it comes to respecting the sport and its icons, and Jake just crossed a line he can't uncross. Rogan released an absolute verbal smackdown on Paul, and man, he's not holding back. Joe's like, look, you can be an influencer, you can be a YouTuber, whatever, but when you step into the ring with a legend, you better respect the game. And guess what? Jake's out here looking like the biggest villain in the fight game right now. Let's break it down. All right, so here's where it gets real messy. After Jake Paul pulled the plug on the Mike Tyson fight, he started going around telling people that he was too sick and injured to get in the ring. Like, seriously, Jake was out here trying to play the sympathy card, claiming that his health wasn't up to par and that he couldn't perform at his best. But guess what? No one was buying it, and you already know Joe Rogan was the first to call him out in a new podcast episode. Joe went off on Jake Paul. He was fuming, and it's safe to say he wasn't having any of Jake's excuses. Rogan was like, if you want to act like a real boxer, then stop hiding behind these lame excuses. He made it clear that Jake can't keep playing the YouTuber card while trying to pretend he's a serious fighter. Joe wasn't just disappointed, he was furious. Why? Because Mike Tyson is a legend. Joe straight up said you don't disrespect a guy like Mike Tyson by bailing out with some weak excuses. If you're in the fight world, you've got to be ready for whatever comes your way. Injured, sick, real fighters still show up. Rogan then hit Jake where it hurt, basically calling him out for being more concerned about his influencer image than actually stepping into the ring like a real boxer. Let's talk about the insane hype leading up to the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. Seriously, it was through the roof. This wasn't just some random bout. This was about to be the fight everyone was talking about for years. I mean, come on, Mike Tyson, one of the baddest dudes in boxing history, versus Jake Paul, the YouTuber turned boxing sensation who's been knocking out opponents left and right. The internet was buzzing, fans were making predictions, and the media was all over it. Fans were counting days to November 15, 2024, at the AT&T Arena in Arlington, Texas. Yeah, the hype for Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was reaching fever pitch, especially after that heated press conference on August 18, 2024 in New York City. If you missed it, you missed some serious fireworks. Mike was out here looking like he was ready to eat Jake alive, and Jake, well, he was doing what he does best, talking smack and hyping himself up like he was untouchable. The tension was through the roof. Fans were going crazy. Tickets were selling out faster than concert seats, and everyone was placing their bets. It was just a matter of Mike Tyson closing the distance. This Mike Tyson is fast as he was, as hard as he hits. I maintain he's the greatest. Yeah, I mean the greatest heavyweight ever. It was just a matter of Mike Tyson closing the distance. This Mike Tyson, as fast as he was, as hard as he hits. I maintain he's the greatest. Yeah, I mean the greatest heavyweight ever. Like that Mike Tyson, those fights where you wanted to see executions, you didn't think anybody was going to beat him. Now, if you're not familiar with Joe Rogan's bond with Tyson, let me break it down for you real quick. Joe is basically Tyson's #1 fan. It's like he's the president of the unofficial Mike Tyson fan club. Every time Joe brings up Tyson on his podcast, you can see the admiration all over his face. We're talking about a guy who's been in combat sports for decades, who's seen it all, and he still treats Mike like a living legend because, well, he is honestly, Joe probably has a picture of Mike Tyson on his wall at home. So when Jake Paul, the internet sensation, the self-proclaimed problem child, pulls the plug on the fight of a lifetime with Tyson, Joe is not having So let's get into why Jake Paul really bailed on this fight, because these so-called injury excuses, yeah, they sound hella fake. Up until the fight cancellation, Jake's been doing just fine. He's been all over social media posting training videos, flexing on Instagram, and showing no signs of bad health, no limping, no resting, nothing. If anything, Jake looked like he was in the best shape of his life. So what gives? If we're being real, the only one who should even be considering health concerns is Mike Tyson. The man is pushing 60, and yet he's fit like a fiddle. Tyson's still out here, looking like he could knock out an entire generation of boxers, but not once did he back out or complain about health issues. In fact, Tyson straight up said that he wasn't going to show Jake any sympathy in the ring. He wasn't going to go easy on him, just because Jake's a YouTuber or younger. Tyson wanted to prove that even at his age he could still hang with the best, and Jake knew that, and that's where it gets shady. Suddenly, right when it's time to throw down, Jake starts pulling out these mysterious health concerns and injuries that just magically appeared out of nowhere. The timing couldn't be more convenient. It's almost like Jake realized Tyson wasn't going to hold back, and instead of risking a serious beatdown in front of millions, he just bailed. Everyone's thinking the same thing. Jake didn't want that smoke. Tyson wasn't here to play nice, and Jake, he just went down before the bell even rang. The excuses are weak, the timing's suspicious, and now Jake's got the whole boxing world questioning his guts. Joe Rogan's reaction was pure fire, like you could feel the disappointment and the frustration in his voice. Joe's been around the block when it comes to combat sports, and he knows what it takes to be a true warrior. He's seen guys like Conor McGregor, Khabib, Anderson Silva, real fighters who never back down from a challenge. So when Jake Paul backs out of fighting Mike Tyson, a legend who's over 50 years old, but still ready to throw down, Joe's ready to let him have it. Mike Tyson is an absolute machine, guys, and let's not forget, even at 58, Mike Tyson was gearing up for this fight like a rookie, ready for his debut. Seriously, the man was training like there was no tomorrow. He's been hitting the gym hard, putting in that work. We're talking about explosive combos, lightning fast footwork, and that signature in head movement. The man still has it, the power, the precision, everything. His jabs still as sharp as ever, his hooks brutal, and that famous uppercut, you know it's a fight ender. If it connects, Tyson might be pushing 60, but trust me, his punching power hasn't aged a